welcome our virtual water cooler friends to the 40th episode of Into the Filmverse. 40, wow, we're getting up there. What is Into the Filmverse, you ask? It's a movie fan podcast covering all types of film content, including movie news, new releases, and a variety of past releases. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today we are discussing James Gunn's Suicide Squad, The Green Knight, Jungle Cruise, and one or two movies that we may have watched throughout the week. And we talk about a lot of movies on this podcast, so if you want to hear our views for those films, or, you know, even some we don't talk about, we join us on Letterboxd. It's a social platform for movie reviews. You can find me there.
I learned something cool about Letterboxd.
What's that?
It doubled in its user base during the pandemic.
It's all because of us. No, I'm just
It's so funny because I was reading about it, and they're like, yeah, we went from like 1.3 million members to 3 million members in a span of a year.
Well, yeah, exactly. You showed me it, and I'm like, day one. I was like, because we can get into that in a second. But you can find me there, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and that's MYTCH.
You can find me, Bryce Payne, at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews.
Yeah, like I was saying, like you showed me Letterboxd, and like I was like, oh, this is a godsend, because I was doing all my reviews. I always like doing movie reviews. But I'm like, I don't want to sit here and write a whole like essay every time I do a whole blog article about every single movie I watch. Like, that's not what I wanted to do. So I was like, oh, there's Twitter. And so I didn't use Twitter that much before that. And so I was like, oh, I'll start using Twitter, and I'll like, so I can reference back my movies, and I'll like use Twitter as that. So then I would like at the movie, or do like hashtag the movie, so I could search it in my own feed. And so I did that for a few months, and then we started hanging out, and then you showed me Letterboxd, and I was like, this is my favorite thing ever.
Guess how long Letterboxd has been around?
I'm guessing a long time.
2011.
2011. Well, I'm sure it just exploded too, right? Like,
yeah, it just blew up during the pandemic.
So if we could keep doing this for what, another 10 years, maybe we'll explode at some point too. So, usually before we go into our movies we watched during the week, we like to talk about some movies news that came out. And there was one trailer we just watched for Cry Macho.
Clint Eastwood's first film since The Mule.
Mule, exactly. He's probably not doing a whole lot these days.
He old, and
he definitely look old. But his movies that he seemed like he has coming out, like The Mule, is pretty good, and then his Cry Macho looks pretty decent.
It looks decent. It looks like a Logan, but for cowboys. That's what I said when I was watching it.
I'm just watching this, and I'm just like, okay, if this was all that was coming out in the theaters, I would be like really disappointed. But like, in between like the big films, like this would be a nice like palate cleanser.
Little drama.
Yeah, a nice little palate cleanser.
I'd probably wait till it comes out on physical media for me, to be honest, because I'm just like,
I would never watch it.
It's a lot of work to go in the theaters and just like
unless
Cry Macho.
Unless for some reason like I came over to your house, or like, you know, we made some event out of like me coming over to your house and watching this film. Outside of that, I would never turn this on, like outside of the theaters. And that's the thing. At least
this is a film I'd watch with my dad.
I can see
this
that.
Would be a safe film to watch with my dad.
See that? Safe film. All the way people. So I know what you're saying there. But no, 'cause at least for me, like how I watch like these more, because you're like very like, you like independent movies, or I mean at least you're more open to them, like watching them like at home.
I watch everything.
Exactly.
Anything and everything will be put on my TV.
Which sometimes it may seem like I get angry at that, but I really don't. It's just like, I'm just a weirdo when it comes to texting. I seem like a different person.
Why would you watch this? This is trash. And I'm like, I know it's trash, but I don't care. I'm gonna watch it.
You're like, yes. You're saying nothing to me I don't already know.
Like, I just hate myself today.
But like, that's the thing about these like smaller movies, is that like I really enjoy them in between the bigger films, because like the big films, I get my big pop, I get my big like, not soda, but like I get my big woohoo, that's awesome.
These are kind of just like palate cleaners.
Not even just palate cleansers, but like, because like a lot of those bigger films don't have the depth that these smaller films do.
Oh yeah, these ones they don't have the CGI, they don't have the big battles, but they have the heartstrings.
They have to rely on
the emotional heartstrings.
Exactly. And so like I'll get my like, hoorah, that's awesome, yeah, go bro, and then I'll get into my like, oh shit, like I'll get into that stuff, and I was like, but I need like the bigger stuff to be able to like to come down to this low and be able to enjoy the smaller stuff.
But no, yeah, it looked okay. I mean, I definitely wasn't impressed, but it's Clint Eastwood, so I don't expect it's going to be terrible. But it's one of those things where it's going to take me a while to get into it, because I'm just like, I'm good.
Exactly. So what did come out this week, which we
wait.
Mm-hmm.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh right, yeah,
in 3 weeks.
Exactly. So Venom got delayed 3 weeks, and the trailer did just come out. A new trailer. I think we talked about that last time. But
I think so. Yeah.
Venom Got Delayed. Oh no. There has been some other movie news that
what
comes
a
out.
shocker.
But, there has been some other movie news comes out, and there's like a bunch of things we could talk about, but
a lot of them are kind of like your opinion would depend on how you feel about the situation and stuff like that. And
exactly.
To get into.
And I kind of wanted to focus more on just like the excitement for movies rather than the specific movie news. Exactly. But what did come out this week is, we like to talk about our Marvel, our Disney, all our pop culture stuff.
Well, there is a Disney thing that came out 2 days ago.
It is. That's what we're talking about.
Are we talking about? We're talking about the new one.
Yeah, we're talking about What If from Disney Plus, the animated thing that show that they've been touting.
I laughed so hard because you messaged me, or like, I'm probably just gonna wait till binge, and then less than 2 hours later, I caved in.
It's because it incented it. I did want to wait, but then I was like, I'm on my lunch. It's 30 minutes long, and I know the trailer's gonna be like 7 minutes, and I have time. I'm gonna watch it. So I did. I was like, fuck it. So I watched it during my lunch break from when I had to work, and this was...
Since you work at home, it's easier to do that.
I do, exactly. I literally just
just walk out of your bedroom and come out here.
It's accurate. It's very true. And I will say, I wasn't like over the moon about it, because this episode focused on Captain Carter, or just basically Peggy Carter if she became Captain America.
I did like how they focused... Like, I liked the Watcher when he introduced it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I think that'll be neat. And then, like, I kind of felt weird because it was like the one choice that changes everything is if she had stayed below.
Oh, right. See, that's a good point. I don't know, man.
Okay, whatever. No, what if anything can happen?
It didn't bother
me.
But... Like, nothing in this episode bothered me, and I thought it was all cool and dandy. But it was just like, okay, it felt like we already saw this film, It
just felt very off to me.
You know what?
I don't know what it was, but watching it, I was just like. Maybe I haven't seen Captain America: The First Avenger in a really long time or something, but I was like, Peggy Carter seems out of character for me. But I also kind of like was thinking about the quote that Dr. Erskine tells Steve, where like, you have to stay you can be a good soldier, but you have to stay a good man, kind of thing. And I just like started thinking, I was like, okay, well maybe Peggy Carter got the serum and got a little bit cocky, and her personality kind of changed.
Oh, I think I definitely think there was a little bit of that. I mean, I feel like there was a little bit of that, but.
And I think the time period, 1940s, women weren't,
Exactly.
I can kind of see her like, oh, I'm buff as shit now. Fuck you, dude.
Oh, yeah, I 100% think that was a little bit of her personality in this.
But I just like Steve better.
Oh, as far as being Captain America, yeah, there's no doubt. But I the reason I don't think I like this one, or this iteration of What If as much, is because it was just retelling the events of, what's it called? The First Avenger.
The First Avenger.
Yeah, but like through but if Peggy got powers, and I was like, but it was just almost the exact same movie.
I feel like all the What If episodes are kind of kind of like that.
I know,
degree.
But think about it. Like, okay, but the next one we have coming up is
T'Challa
as Star-Lord. Like that would never have. Like, there's no correlation between that. So it's like there is something What If in that. Like, like there's that could be more interesting. Like zombie Marvel stuff that's coming up. We have. I don't.
Because that one has Spider-Man be like. Zombie Hunter.
It does, yeah. There's also some other ones coming up, but this one just kind of felt like too derivative for me.
This one felt like a good beginning episode. Like it doesn't bring too much like stuff into it, but it didn't bring too much not. Like it was kind of just like let's ease you guys into this series.
Right.
Meanwhile, the next episode they're like, now we're gonna get into the weird shit because you got the whole like you get what the animation is gonna be like, you get what the style is gonna be like, and now let's get into the weird shit.
I don't know how accurate this is. I just saw like a season 1 listing each of the episodes.
I've seen it too.
And I don't know even what that would mean, but yeah. So it's interesting it'll be interesting to see what else they do with this.
I want to see the Doctor Strange one because I'm hoping it links into the multiverse shit.
That would be cool. Like Doctor Strange, like it said Doctor Strange Supreme, and I'm like, but I don't know what that means.
He's already the Sorcerer Supreme though.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what is there to it, like a Taco Supreme?
No, I mean it was okay, but I definitely need to see more because this wasn't the one that blew me away.
That's why I think this series. That's why I said I wanted to wait, because I know that not every single one of them like, oh, that was awesome. So I was like, I just want to wait so I can watch everything and be like, oh, okay, that was cool,
It is a good, interesting thing. Somebody was talking about it. They're like, this show could realistically go forever because all you have to do is like, what if this didn't happen? There's no time frame.
Actually, I mean, that's kind of a cool thing you could do. I mean, since every time Marvel does like a film, they could come up with an episode of like what, or not a film, but like maybe even like every.
They could do multiple episodes for one movie.
Yeah,
that's how fucked up that is. That's why, like, literally, what if Steve had like turned right instead of left in this hallway?
or yeah, they could, or they could do like they could try out ideas they have.
Did you hear about the Guardians of the Galaxy thing?
What's that?
The one of the episodes is gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy. What if, right?
Yeah, that's the
And I
T'Challa
guess
probably,
like
right?
I guess no, like there's another one.
Oh, okay.
But I guess like the back half of the episode, like the episode is the like third act of Guardians of the Galaxy, like it was going to be. Like the writer was writing it, and they're like, "You can't do that one." And she's like, "Why not?" And it's like that is legit the third act.
She came up with her own idea, and that was the act.
That was volume 3. That was the last act of volume 3.
Wait, what?
They're just like, no, what? Like that is legit. The ending of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
And she goes, "Holy shit! I thought it was something bonkers." Like
she was like the weirdest shit I could possibly imagine. They're like, "No, James Gunn's doing that."
He's like, "He already thought of that, bro." And speaking of James Gunn, we'll talk about him in a minute. He came out with a new film, but
he did. It took me a week to watch it.
But
Well,
before we get into that, I want to talk about another film me and you watched together, called The Green Knight. I'll let you dive into this first. So take me through honestly, because I haven't looked any information up, and I honestly kind of need you to take me through what I watched, like not the whole sequence of events.
Let's talk about the film first, then I'll get into like what I researched afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
The film was very unsettling. I felt very like not sure. I was very unsure of what was happening.
Confused.
Yeah, I was very confused watching it, but not in like a way where I was like mad. Like it wasn't like a what the fuck. It was like. What? Like it was like happy confusion, but also like where is this gonna go kind of thing.
Yeah, that's not quite like I was watching this and I was like this, like yeah, it was a confusion of like I just don't entirely get what they're going for. Like, what is the point of this? Is like I guess is all my whole thing I was thinking. And like every scene that happened, I'm just like, okay,
you're just getting more and more confused because things are happening, and you're just like
this is not bad, but I'm just like I just don't know what's going on. Like
yeah, I know you gave me some flack at the end of the movie. And my first words are like, what the fuck did I just watch? But that's legit like the whole experience to me. It was just like going like every time they went someplace and met somebody or something, I was like, why?
Yeah, exactly. Like each of the scenes themselves weren't even that bad, but just I just didn't see any connection to it.
Yeah, it was just weird, and that was kind of how I left the movie. It was just like I was sitting right with you, Mytchel. I was like I don't know what the fuck I just watched. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like I wasn't blown away or anything. And then you saw my rating on Letterboxd, and you were like, "How the fuck?"
I did triple take, and I was like,
"You give it
what?
4 stars when you let the movie go? What the fuck?" And I was like, "YouTube videos."
YouTube. No, and I mean, honestly, I didn't look anything up. But
Okay,
I heard you tell me.
What?
Go ahead, yeah.
Jada was arguing with me on the way home about what this movie meant. And, like, I was like, no, because this is what this means. And she's like, no, this. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense because this happened. And legit, the entire car ride home, we were just in there arguing.
Mm-hmm.
We got home, put on a YouTube video trying to explain it. There were 3 possible endings to this film. So we were both right because we each had one of the possible endings.
Wait, what?
So, spoilers. The ending where, like, the Green Knight cuts his head, like he does the castle montage, right, with the vision or whatever, and his head falls off. That's one ending you can interpret. The other ending is where he like takes off the belt, accepts his death, and he dies. The third ending is what I thought, where the Green Knight's now like off with your head, and I kind of took it as like a joking manner, and he let him go.
So it's
there's
specifically
3
set up
possible endings.
So
you interpret your own.
Oh.
So like she was the one where she's like, well, he just died, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure the dude just let him leave. Like, you know, like off with your head, like, you know, a joke, like, all right, you're free to go. You learned a lesson,
right?
But here's where the Arthurian tale comes in. In the actual tale, the Green Knight's mom is Morgan Le Fay. I think it was Morgan Le Fay. Pretty sure. But
okay.
The Green Knight is actually King Arthur in disguise testing the knights. So each one of the people he meets on the way to the Green Knight was a test. Testing his honesty, his generosity, his, you know, different qualities of a knight and whether
I'm not
he
gonna
passed
lie.
or not.
Like me, I kind of want to rewatch that with that in mind, just like to know exactly, like, because having that in mind would actually help my experience a lot more, probably.
Yeah, because I mean, like after I did the research, I was like, okay, holy shit! If you think about it that way, this movie's fucking fantastic. Like, there's a lot of weird shit. Like, you know, it's that kind of movie is weird.
I just think the way my brain works, I wouldn't be able to like just to rationalize that in my head from after watching it and reading it. I'm just like, I was like, I see what you're going for, but you still left me hanging in the movie. Like, I was at the end of the movie. So
now here's where a lot of hatred for this film is coming in. Is this director made a Ghost Story, which is also an A24 film, and people love it. I loved it. There was a lot of weird scenes, but it's really good, like simple little movie. But The Green Knight, made by the same dude, doesn't have quite the same like feeling, and I just left it kind of feeling. I left it feeling very much like, what the fuck. But over like a day of thinking, I really like it, but I don't know if I'd want to rewatch it again. Now we are going to rewatch it again because I'm doing the whole A24, like going through it all again.
Right.
But like, yeah, I respect the movie. I just wish they had done more of like either showing King Arthur in disguise or like doing more from the tail instead of just being like, it's up to you.
You know, okay, I and this is probably a little bit on me because as far as like my experience with films, because you know a lot of people complain that movies kind of like bang you over the head with information too much sometimes.
Sometimes it's helpful because this movie would have benefited a fuck ton with it.
You know, and some people are saying they think they want the studio to give the audience more credit or the director to give the audience more credit and not explain things as much.
Expect people to be stupid.
But I'm like
an idiot. So.
I'm like, please just tell me. Like, I want you to be as obvious as possible.
You know. Okay. Speaking of that, we watched another A24 movie called Killing of a Sacred Deer. They do that. Straight up, there's just a scene where like a boy just explains the whole movie to the guy, and I was like, I appreciate this because this makes a lot more sense now. He's straight up like, well, I don't want to bother you, but like, okay, if you don't kill one of your family members within the night, you know, they'll start dying from this disease. First they won't be able to walk, then they won't be able to eat, then they'll start bleeding from the eyes, then they'll die. Okay, that's it. Good luck. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that. At least I know what the fuck's going on. Like,
right, seriously.
I don't understand why it's happening or anything, but like, at least I know what's happening. Like the guy cursed the family or whatever, and they're all gonna die. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
The Green Knight would have benefited if he was just like, yeah, so you're gonna be tested, and like, depending on what happens, depends whether I cut your fucking head off. Good luck.
Like that would have been, or even like even if they didn't tell them that the character directly, at least if they told us the audience that,
it, or if they like brought it away to think that way, because otherwise I'm just sitting there in the movie and they're meeting people, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, exactly, or that they would have like tied that back in somehow, so I would have realized that before I left the movie.
Let's discuss some of the weird confusion shit. He gets robbed, and he finds the axe in the house. Where the fuck did the axe get in the house?
That bothered me.
That bothered me too, because I was like, what the fuck?
Like, because I thought they were gonna reference that back to how it got, and they never did. It was like it just appeared.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
it just appeared, and I was like, I don't really fucking like that. There's the house where he gets like molested. I don't understand that either. Like the house just fucking appears, and then he paints a painting of him, and then he, you know, the scene. I don't know. I don't want to say it on a podcast. A very disgusting scene that I didn't need to see Dave Patel do. I'll tell you after the podcast if you don't remember it, but it was very gross.
Oh, he's just winking it?
I was trying to be more PG, but I
mean, that's pretty PG. I mean, if you go British, I mean...
Yeah, I found that very weird. The whole huntsman, but that was part of like generosity or honesty or something, because he says, whatever you were given, I expect part of it. And like he's like, no, I didn't give shit. She didn't give me nothing. He's like, fucking liar. But no, it was.
I know you're not telling the truth, baby.
I thought the movie was pretty good. I think it would benefit more for me in a rewatch where I understood more what was going on.
Fair.
But it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous film.
But, you know what else is pretty gorgeous? The slaughter that ensues in Suicide Squad.
I thought you were going to say Margot Robbie, and I was going to agree, but you went a totally different route. You went violence. I went beauty.
I was gonna say Margot Robbie, but I was like, I thought it would be funnier if I said the slaughter. That's what happened in my head. And I was like, I was gonna say Margot Robbie, no, Idris Elba. That's the beauty.
No, it's King Shark all
King
the way.
Shark. Yeah, he's my boo boo.
So you watched Suicide Squad like 4 days before I did.
I did very indeed. Suicide Squad is a fun film. It is. People like it a lot more than I do.
There's like polarizing reviews on this movie. I was surprised.
And I see both. It's weird. This is one of those films where I'm like, I'm in the middle, and there's people on both sides like that either hate it or love it. And I was like, I completely get both of your sides.
Yeah, I was the same way because I left it and I was like, I get why people like it, but I also get why people hate it.
I know
why I like parts of it, but I also know there's parts that I was like, eh.
Everything I watched, I enjoyed, and I thought it was fun and it was interesting. It just wasn't enough. Like it was just like this feels so like. I don't know, like, I kind of already watched it, like, it's just Suicide Squad. I don't know if that's, like...
You want to talk through the beginning of the film because I was completely caught off guard and a little disappointed.
I wasn't. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
They met all the characters and I was like, well, I already know Captain Boomerang dies. I had that spoiled for me, like whatever.
Not because,
and then they all started getting killed at the beginning, and I was just like,
no, because
I wanted to see more of Pete Davidson. I don't know, like I just wanted to see more of him. I wanted to see more of Michael Rooker. I get they all would have died, but I would have liked it more than like 10 minutes in the fucking movie.
No, exactly, because here's my whole thought process was that because we knew like King Shark was going to be there and Idris Elba and John Cena, and I'm like none of these guys, and I'm just like
Jada was like,
well, they're going to die immediately.
Jada was like, what the fuck, and I was like, Jada, there's a whole other like 5 people we haven't met yet. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, like King Shark, John Cena, Idris Elba.
Yeah,
like all we got here is Rick Flag and Harley Quinn. We know her later in the movie due to trailers, but like these other people, I get it, but I'm a little disappointed.
Right. And then the whole thing was like, I think I'm just kind of, I don't know how to explain this in a way that doesn't sound stupid, but I'm kind of tired of comic book movies in the sense that like,
as a Marvel fanboy, that sounds very weird.
I know, and I'm gonna try to work my way through explaining this because what I want to say, like, it's not that not movies that are based on comic books, because obviously that's a lot of like I have
comic
Marvel
book movies that are very comic booky.
Correct. Like if you guys can out there can rationalize what I'm saying, like the Joker is a comic book movie, but it doesn't
feel like a comic book movie.
Or exactly.
There's things like some like Marvel films, like you can tell, but there's some that like Logan.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy felt new, refreshing. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, not so much. It felt more like a comic booky movie.
I'm trying to think of another example.
I'm just trying to think of like some.
Movie. There's not too hard because a lot of comic book movies just feel like a comic book. But right. I think like like you get the new ones like when Thor Ragnarok came out.
Oh, well, like kind of like Shang-Chi a little bit.
It just feels different
at least
than what we've gotten.
Right, exactly. And this didn't feel any different than what I've seen before. Like I've
felt
seen
like
the
a downgraded Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I mean, it just like...
But Birds of Prey was like that comic book style where I liked the comic book style because it felt very weird,
Right. And I think another part of this that I didn't like so much is that the whole movie was just about one location, and like Starro, which was in the trailer from the beginning, and like I saw like almost all the best parts of this film in the trailer, and that's what I was hoping that wouldn't happen.
I will say, Ratcatcher 2 made me tear up a little bit, just with the interaction with her dad.
I honestly I was like, okay, like
that scene where she's sitting on the roof with her dad.
You know what I think about?
I was like, oh, you motherfuckers trying to pull my heartstrings now, huh?
She reminded me of Squirrel Girl, and I was just like.
However, I will say, who stole the show for me that I didn't think was going to? Polka Dot Man.
Everybody
was so stupid, but I loved it.
I don't, and maybe it's just like I feel like some of these jokes, I don't know why, but they just fell flat for me. Like I did not enjoy the mom joke. Like I loved
it, dude. It was like, "Where's your mom now?" Everywhere. Just everyone was his mom. Okay. I was laughing my
that
ass
part was
off.
funny. I laughed pretty hard that part.
The whole club sequence, I wasn't a fan of. I was like, I don't need to see them all drink and shit like the bar they did in Suicide Squad. I don't need that. I don't care.
Right.
It was good in Deadpool. It made sense in Deadpool. His girlfriend's a stripper. But like Suicide Squad, okay, they're a bar, whatever, bonding. But then it's like another bar scene in a Suicide Squad movie. I don't need that.
Right.
Fuck out of here. But the scene where it's like, you know who that is, and Polka Dot Man's like, what? It's like, that's your mother, and he's just like, ah! And I laughed so hard just seeing this woman just sit there and beat fucking buildings down.
Honestly, I rolled my eyes so hard at that part. Like I get it. Like I appreciated the joke they were going for, but I was like, it just didn't work for me.
King Shark making his little friends. I like that scene.
It was so cute.
Everything with King Shark.
Everything I know. Everything with King Shark, I love it. But I was like, he was so underutilized.
Dude, he's like, oh, wear a disguise. You can't wear a disguise. What is that supposed to be? Fake mustache. That's not gonna work. Fuck.
He was so cute.
I love the scene where they're going into the camp and killing everybody, all quote unquote stealthy, and then she's like, "Why weren't my men alerted?" Oh yeah, there's nobody out here. There's nobody.
It was the allies.
Fucking finger.
He's like, I don't know. We don't know anybody else. And then the finger pops.
I like that scene. Oh, Rick Flag was a lot better in this movie than the first one because he wasn't tied to fucking Juno. Or June, or whatever the fuck her name is.
I agree too.
He actually got to have a personality besides being like, I need to help my girlfriend.
Amanda
Waller, fucking terrifying.
I love Amanda Waller, dude.
She's so good, but it's so scary at the same time.
I love her and I hate her at the same time.
She's just like, I will fucking kill you. And I was like, bro, like, have a heart. Like, Jesus Christ. She's like, you don't know what I would do. You're like, what the fuck?
And then they knock her out, and then I was like, yo, no, not Amanda Waller. What'd you do?
She like hit him with the pole, and then she's like, everyone get back to work. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
And then you just see Amanda Waller in the office, and we're just like, oh no.
dude, Idris Elba, holy shit, man. Give him some more lead roles. Fuck.
Yes,
Quit
also
delegating him to background characters or
Seriously.
side characters. Like, let him be the lead because he kills this shit.
what I do want to say though, like, I'll give major props to John Cena. He actually did a good job in this film.
He's surprisingly good in some movies.
Really good in this film. Like he had good his acting.
I think it's because it's like more comedic.
It was, but there's even a scene where, like, you know, at the end there where he was, I'm sorry, we've already kind of spoiled a bunch here, but
It's okay. It's been out for a week. They
The,
launched on HBO Max.
that's true. On, you know, they were trying to get the drive or whatever, and he's like, I
he's
don't want to
traitor.
do this.
Yeah, he's like, please don't make me do this, man.
Like, but
It's like, you don't have to, but peace.
Like, my thing is, like, you could see that he didn't want to do it, but he was going to because of the mission he was given. And I was like, he could see that he still didn't want to, and I was like, all right, John Cena.
Dude,
like,
when Rick Flag died and he's like Peacemaker, what a fucking joke. I was like, damn.
damn.
Like, man, John Cena killed it. He was a good dynamic between him and Idris Elba. Like, they're so cool to see together. They had such good chemistry. It was fucking awesome.
It was.
They're just like, that doesn't count. They kind of
And-
remind me of Gimli and Legolas from Lord of the Rings. Now they're just like, they're killing people and they're like, oh, I did better than you. It's like,
See,
oh yeah? Bah!
And I can bring, like, there's a bunch of parts we could, you know, like we were focusing on. They're all good individually, but somehow, like, everything amassed together just didn't pop that like enough for me.
I can see that. I like individual scenes. The group scenes, I was kind of like, eh. I did like them trying to save Harley Quinn though, because I found that funny. They had like this whole plan set out.
I
and
just
then
was
she's
bothered.
like,
I saw it in the trailer too, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? How did I even watch it? I feel like I watched 2 trailers and I saw everything in this film.
Dude,
I don't watch trailers really. Like, you know, like
I just loved her coming out and being like, I can go back in. And I was like,
that was so
I
adorable.
just need to see Harley Quinn do more badass shit. Like, ever since
Give me
she,
a heart. Like, I need exactly.
ever since she got her own movie, she
You know
is
what'd be
fucking
cool?
killing.
And this might be really like, I'm not even controversial, but like, what if like Harvey became like Batman's sidekick?
I liked her
That'd be
tattoo.
dope.
I liked her tattoos in this movie too, because they were like, no one's property and shit
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Like, I was like,
I love that scene.
character growth.
I love that
Character
scene.
growth.
I love that scene when she's like, you know, she has sex with that dude, and then, you know, he's like showing her the birds
like,
and shit.
We'll kill the children. Bang!
Bang! She's like, last time I said if I saw any red flags, I'd kill him person. Or kill him. I'd kill him.
I kill them. I don't know what you're saying. Why don't you just walk away? But then they tend to come back.
The type of guys they just don't leave me alone. And I was like, yes, Harley, I
And then
fucking
they all
love you.
storm it, and she's like, yeah.
You know, honestly, I think there was one part where I actually kind of got sad a little bit, not like my heart broke a little bit, was for Starro himself. Because he's like, I just wanted to float in space.
He was like, I was
He's
happy
like,
up in space.
oh my god, the poor guy, he doesn't even, like, y'all are fucking him. Like,
You guys took him. You ruined his life. He's just trying to
guys,
get some
stop.
revenge.
He's like, I think he's just trying to get away. He's like, just leave me alone. And they're like, I'm gonna kill you. No, he's like, bro, I'm sorry, but leave me alone.
Man, I was.
You made me.
Did you hear the scene where Harley Quinn said that Joker killed her dogs?
I didn't hear that, but she also never said Joker, I'm pretty sure. But we obviously know
She
it's Joker. But...
references
yeah.
the Joker, and it's like, and then he just comes back and kills your dogs. And I was like, what?
Oh, I think I
and then,
remember
and then
saying,
Jada was like, what? And I was like, her hyenas are dead.
yeah. Not the hyenas.
Those were like so cute. I was so upset. But now I really want to watch Birds of Prey again, just because I love Harley Quinn now. Like, Suicide Squad, I was like, you know, it's Margot Robbie, she's hot, you know, like, okay. But then, like, her own movie and Suicide, I'm like, get Margot Robbie, just never stop playing Harley Quinn. Just
you know what I hated
don't.
though? I hated the weasel. Fuck that thing.
I was laughing so hard. I hate that one of the post-credit scenes is for him, though, because I was just like, who the fuck was thinking about him later in this movie?
Nobody. I didn't care at all. I was like, okay.
Someone did a breakdown, though, of the scene where he's in the plane, and they're like, ready to drop it, he's like trying to get up, and like, and they're like, I think he was trying to tell me he can't swim.
Probably.
Like, we're gonna drop. Like, no, I can't.
So,
no.
Speaking of can't swimming, Jungle Cruise also came out.
You have seen this. I have not. I was going to see it, but then I look at the runtime and it's 2 hours long, and I just can't justify that for me. I'm like, 2 hours to watch a movie about them
But you-
going on a cruise.
But you said you were excited about
I
this.
know, but it's like I don't want to go to a theater to watch Jungle Cruise. I'd rather watch it at home, but I don't want to pay $30 to watch it at home.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like, I'll just wait till it comes on Blu-ray and I'll pay $20 for it.
So this is not really a spoiler, but the reason I said speaking of not being able to swim, Emily Blunt's character can't swim.
That's stupid
And
as
she
fuck.
was a
Why would you go on a
cruise.
Jungle Cruise and you can't swim?
So I'm not.
Let me
I'm
guess. That becomes a very important plot point later on. Dwayne Johnson has to save her.
Smiles.
Oh, predictable.
No response. I plead the fifth. No, but there was actually so the whole plot of the film. This is in the first like 10 seconds of the film. Like they explain what the plot is.
Her husband's missing.
No. So there's this thing.
That'd be every jungle
Oh,
movie
I forgot.
ever.
I forgot what it's called. It's like called the Heart of the Jungle,
Heart of the jungle.
or the
The heart of the jungle.
There's basically a tree in the middle of the jungle, and it has like magical healing properties. That's the whole premise of the movie. They're trying to find this tree in the middle
What
of
the
the jungle.
fuck is this? Indiana Jones?
No, it's like the plot of Pirates of the Caribbean to a T.
Trying
Like,
to find the fountain of youth.
Yeah, you'll watch it, and you're like, this is literally just Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not even joking. It's like almost beat by beat. And you think I'm joking,
You know what's so sad?
and you're gonna watch the entire
like-
film, and you're like, oh, you weren't joking. Like,
Here's the sad thing is we go from a live action Disney movie Cruella, which blew me the fuck away, to I know it's back to Jungle Cruise, where I'm like, I don't really want to watch it because it just like
okay, but
Cruella was
that being
so
said,
cool.
though, like that being said, the plot and all that, it's actually pretty good. Like, it's not bad. Like, I had a good time with. Like, I was watching it, and it's some funny laughs. I mean, it's The Rock. Like, everything The Rock's on screen, you're like, yeah. And then Emily Blunt has a brother in the film. I didn't even know this, because he wasn't like talked about hardly at all in the trailers and anything like that. But he steals the fucking show. I don't know who this guy is, but he's fucking hilarious.
I don't know if I probably
Yeah, so I mean, check it out.
I might go watch it in theaters, but I'm also kind of just like, it'll be on
Meh,
Blu-ray in
whatever.
2 months.
Who cares? Honestly, like, it's whatever. Like, it's the Jungle Cruise.
It's
It'll
just
be
what
there.
I'm looking at it on Letterboxd. It's in the popular this week, and I'm just like, I only haven't seen 3 movies in that fucking list. I want to watch them all.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I wouldn't like jump out of your seat to go watch it. I like waiting 2 months. It doesn't matter, you know. So
I watched a new movie
What did you
literally
watch?
3 hours ago.
oh yeah, you told me about this, but
I got to see 9 Days, starring Winston Duke,
there's a bunch of actors in this too, right?
Zazie Beetz, Bill Skarsgård, like
Right.
Wong. Benedict
Oh, his
Wong.
name is Wong. I'm like, wait, that's
Benedict Wong.
I
Yeah,
forgot
dude,
that's
man.
his name.
There's some really good actors, and it's a super small cast. There is literally 8 people, other than people on screens.
Wow.
So it's super small. It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours long. So really long, but it's like, oh, man, the whole movie. I was sitting there and I was watching. And I was like, damn, this is so fucking good.
I can't wait to see it.
Premise:
However,
5 souls
mm-hmm.
interview for a chance to be alive.
And they have to decide which soul is live.
You have 9 days, and while the days are going on, he does these little like tests kind of things. Like one day he'll be like, "You're in this situation. How do you respond?"
That's cool.
The second day or whatever, he'll be like, "You're gonna
It's
watch."
kind of like
you're
a
gonna
thought
watch
experiment. Like, how would you respond? Things like that, kind of.
Kind of, because like I don't want to spoil anything, but like yeah,
Oh,
because
I want to see it.
he'll be like, in this situation, how would you respond? And then he like keeps track of what they say, and depending on how they responds whether he like lets them continue to the next day or whether he has to eliminate.
Oh
them.
shit!
Because only one soul gets chosen. There's 5 of them.
So it's like
And while this is
Survivor, but
kinda, and like they'll be watching like the screens of the other people he watches.
Survivor to be alive.
Because everyone he chooses gets to be on one of these television screens. He has to record their days and how their lives are going and keep files on them. So like when one of them dies, he has to interview a new soul to take their spot on the screen.
Huh.
So like he has the people watch the screens and be like, what out of this do you like? What out of this do you not like? And just so forth and so on. Well, each people start getting eliminated.
Interesting.
And their personalities start coming out more. It's like when they first arrive, they're like newborns.
Oh.
They're really like kind of blank slates almost.
Bleep, bleep.
And as the days go on, they kind of get more personality. So like, they could be a choir person. They could love, I don't fucking know, like surfing or other shit, and they just grow to love that through watching other people's lives. Well,
sounds pretty
also
cool,
answering
actually.
questions. So fucking good.
Well, I will try to figure out how to watch it. I might not travel up to Regal to watch it. I mean, maybe I will or not. I don't know.
One theater in our town has it showing. One.
That's unfortunate.
It's so stupid. Although, last time I went to that theater was like 2017 or something like that when Valerian and
Oh.
I like that movie. Okay, I know I'm one of
Actually, I never watched it.
I
so,
like the movie. It's fun. It's colorful. I like it.
I don't like Dane DeHaan. Sorry, he was sidebar.
It's literally just I just like the colors and shit. I just find it so pretty.
Oh, okay.
And it's like I'm sure the acting's not that good. I haven't seen it in like 3 years. My wife doesn't like it. But we went and saw it at this theater, and they had like the old school theater seats where like you had to sit down the top.
No.
And we were
At Regal?
I was like, this is terrible. But we went today, and it's like a whole new fucking place.
Oh, okay.
They have some of the most comfortable theater seats I've ever sat in.
Pet the Cinema?
It's so good. It's so good. But they have a club. I'm gonna look into this because they have a club, like you know how AMC had that unlimited movie thing.
Yeah.
They have it.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna look into it because it's like you go as many times as you want. I was like, you fucking risky motherfuckers, because I watch a lot of goddamn
Maybe
movies.
drive all the way through. How was? Well, yeah, I'll look at.
Oh yeah, there was 2 other people in our showing.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but still, yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna look into the membership because I'm just like, if I could see all these
good.
movies
I mean,
for
that's good.
fucking free.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause
like,
you showed me. Honestly, this was never on my radar. You told me about. You showed me the trailer for it. I said that it looked like it could either be like really good or like be really bad. And so
my wife spent the entire movie in tears.
Jada, like 2 seconds in, just like,
dude, the whole time she's like sniffling and rubbing her nose on her shirt and shit. She's just like, and I was over there like, oh bitch.
oh my god.
But it was really good. It's like it didn't make me cry, and if it made me cry, I would have given it 5 stars. But it didn't. It missed the mark. For an emotional drama that like it was pulling at me, it was trying, but it never made it.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I was like, you missed it, man.
You missed that 1.5 star.
You didn't join the 55 club. You almost made it a 56 club, but now it's still a 55. You would join the 87 now.
That's funny.
It's funny because my wife was arguing with me on the way here, and she was just like, how could you not give it 5 stars? I'm like, it didn't make me cry. For a dramatic movie, it has to make me cry. Otherwise, it's not that good. Like,
Fair.
like Our Friend, that movie that came out like earlier this year, late last year, something like that, had Casey Affleck and all these people in it. It was like this woman gets cancer and her, whatever.
Oh, you told me about that, yeah.
It made me cry so much. I don't think I gave it 5 stars. I think I gave it like 4 because it was just like, it was really not that.
Well, there's a lot of mixture of things that have to go into it, yeah, beyond just that.
But if this one had made me cry, I'd have been like, fucking 5 stars, bro. Right there. You earned it.
Words on Bathroom Walls, that was one that we both cried at.
We were in a bad state of mind. We decided to watch a sad movie. We're like, fuck, dude.
I need to see that again. I wouldn't mind watching that one again.
I think if I watched it again, it'd probably drop a couple stars because the frame I was in. But I was like,
hey, I wouldn't like. But that's like the thing about rewatching films, like you to see how much like you actually like it.
I was at work and people were asking me about like movies I rewatch. I was like, I don't really rewatch movies. And they're like, what? I was like,
I mean, if you have something to watch,
I rewatch
then
movies with like it's either Marvel I rewatch or I rewatch movies with my friends because I'm trying to introduce them to the movie. But if I'm on my own, why would I watch something I've already seen when I can just watch something new?
Traditionally, I feel the same way.
But
if I watch movies at all, you know me.
But it's like like Green Knight. Like I'm not gonna rewatch that till I get to it in the list. Like that's not a priority for me.
I probably won't
now.
watch that again like by myself. Like
it's like Sorry to Bother You. Like I saw it once. I would only watch it again with people I want to show it.
I'm not gonna lie. I might watch that. I like that film for some reason way more than other people do. I might watch that again.
I was telling Alicia and Joe about it, and like I didn't spoil the twist.
Oh, don't like you cannot spoil the twist. Like that's like a world. What was it called? A World's End. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like
if somebody doesn't know, you cannot tell them. Like,
and I was just like. I was gonna fuck with Jacob, and I was gonna put it on, and be like, "We're watching this for movie night," just because he knows the twist, and he's just like, "I don't want to fucking watch that." And so Alicia was like, "Well, we should watch it. I want to know the twist." And I was like, "We're gonna watch Good Time.
Good idea.
We're not gonna watch Sorry to Bother You because Jacob doesn't want to, and I know he does it, but he was stoned, so he was like, we can watch it, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that to you, buddy. It's alright.
So I watched
maybe next week.
Just a quick note. I watched The Old Guard. It's a Netflix film that came out like last year.
I think I saw you rate it, but I don't. Yeah, I did.
It's like a movie where like all the people are immortal. Like there's like a group of like 5 people that are immortal, and then like a new girl comes in that she becomes immortal. They basically have Deadpool healing powers, and then just like one day they stop healing. Like there's no set time. It's just they randomly stop healing, and it's just basically about them like being discovered and like, and then basically it's basically about that. It's not. And then it was actually pretty decent though. Like I never gave it a chance just because it just sounded horrible.
I watched another new movie.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Teen Titans Go See Space Jam.
Oh yeah.
The movie fucking sucked. Because it was.
I mean, wait a minute.
They cut out parts of Space Jam, right? So it's not the full movie Space Jam. Like you don't see the players and shit. Like you see them get their shit stolen, but they never show back up. Like you know how they had them in the hospitals. Like they cut all that out. They fast forward a ton of boring scenes because they were like, "Oh, we want to get to Michael Jordan," and I was like,
"Did they really?"
Yeah, I was like, "So this isn't like they're just it's legit just watching the best parts of Space Jam for 80 minutes and having Teen Titans Go commentary over it." And the only reason I watched it is because I was cataloging all my movies. I need something for background noise. I figured like
I keep wondering why did you watch this?
Teen Titans Go is stupid, right? Like I'll just watch a special about them going to see Space Jam because that's what I thought it was about. They were gonna go see Space Jam and have a journey to go see Space Jam. But they legit, like, the aliens from Space Jam show up, and they just watch Space Jam with them. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I hate Teen Titans Go passion, so.
Beast Boy kept a butt counter of how many butts showed up in the movie. He missed, like, 3.
I don't know why that makes me so angry.
So
I shouldn't. I was like, I consciously became how adult I was right there. I looked at you and I was like, I don't know why that makes me so angry, and I feel like an adult right now, and I don't like it. So
okay, no, let's discuss this though, because I've seen all the Teen Titans Go movies. Teen Titans Go to the movie, it's stupid, but it's funny. It's dumb. Stan Lee has a couple cameos. It's fucking stupid. Like, but I knew it was stupid. I watched it in theaters. I knew it was gonna be dumb, but I still went. Then I watched Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans, specifically for Teen Titans, the OG Teen Titans.
I actually did watch that. I think I watched that at work one day.
That's stupid too, but like once again, like I know it, but this is just why the fuck? What did Warner Brothers like? Teen Titans Go was like, hey Warner Brothers, can we just commentary over Space Jam for the new movie? They were like, sure.
They asked themselves.
Yeah, like legit, like it's just stupid. It's a stupid promotion trying to get kids to watch the original Space Jam, so they can go get them to go watch Space Jam too. Who the fuck cares?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
And then they cut out parts of it, and so I was like, it's not even the full fucking movie. Like it's just parts of it picked out, like not parts. Like it is a lot of the movie. Like it's well over 2/3 of the movie you watch. They cut out parts of it, and I was like, you know, it's kind of for the best. But they have the Teen Titans Go commentary over it, which just fucking ruins it. It's stupid.
Huh.
I think I gave it a star.
Wow. Yeah.
Specifically, just because like. You know, some scenes from Space Jam are kind of funny.
Even though I don't like Space Jam. I was like, why would you do that? Like, I was like, you probably barely like Teen Titans as it is, like that Teen Titans Go as it is, and then you didn't like Space Jam, and I was like, I keep questioning why you watched it. I was like, okay, background noise.
I paid $6 to watch it.
On what?
I rented it.
You rented it? You didn't even buy it?
It's not available to buy.
It's not?
Not on physical media.
When did it come out?
I don't know. When did Space Jam 2 come out?
Recently. So that was kind of all the movies that we
I mean, I watched a ton more, but
I know you. Yeah, you do.
I legit. I watched a couple horror movies just as background noise was cataloging. I don't really care.
We could probably have like a whole like podcast just about movies that you
like,
watch.
So how many movies you watch today? 5? What the fuck is wrong with you?
5, and then times that by like 2 weeks.
You know what one of my coworkers said?
Huh?
He's like, I really want to know you when you get older and had dementia, because I think you'd be the funniest motherfucker with how many
you
movies
just every
you watch.
single movie every day.
I'd be like, back in World War II, where I saved people as a medic, and they're like, that's Hacksaw Ridge, bro. Like, no, I was there. Like, you were born in 1998. You were not in World War II, you crazy bastard.
What? 1998? No, I wasn't. You're
speak fluent Japanese or something, or like half Japanese, and they'll be like, what the fuck is he saying? It's like, I don't know, every other word is Japanese for some fucking reason. He's acting like he's in a samurai film.
Oh my god.
I'd just be fucking insane. It's gonna be horrible. I'm gonna be a terrible guy with dementia.
That's hilarious.
I'll just be rewatching the same movie over and over because I won't remember fucking watching it.
But what I do want to talk about is some of the movies that will be on the next podcast that we'll talk about. So you have an idea of what to check out next week. So
I was thinking, I'm like, what movies are coming out that I would care
about? So there are like the first movie. This is what I'm probably most excited about for all these. Ryan Reynolds, Free Guy.
That comes out today, the one we're filming this.
Exactly.
I'm excited for it, but I'm also kind of nervous about it because I'm just like,
I've heard good things from people that I like. I've heard good things from like reviews, and then like, the person that I watched, like John Campia, I watch his stuff, and he liked it. Like most of the time, he aligns with everything. There's sometimes where it's not quite, but he definitely.
It's very much one of those where I'm like, I don't know.
I also agree. I'm still like I'm a little bit more excited for it just because of those reviews, but I know that like
I'm definitely not a comedy person, so I'm just like,
oh yeah, that's true.
but
you are like but you like
I like Ryan Reynolds.
Like Ryan Reynolds,
so, like,
so it's like
it's one of those things where I'm like, Ryan Reynolds is there. I like Ryan Reynolds, but also like,
as long as it's not like
this is GTA comes alive, so
That's
I don't
true.
know how to feel about it.
I'm interested. I'm very interested. And then we also have Naked Singularity.
No fucking clue what that is.
It's with John Boyega, and like he's like
Oh, it's the one where he's the lawyer and he becomes a criminal.
Yes, I love it.
That's what that movie is. We were looking at Showtime.
He has a ninja sword, like a ninja sword, a katana.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what's going on, but I was like, John Boyega with the sword. I'm in.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't care. I'm so excited for that film. I was like, I love John Boyega.
I love him too, but it's one of those things where I'm like, this is a movie that definitely is not for me.
It looks like kind of like more like A24 though.
I don't care. I'm only watching A24 films because I feel like I have to now.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so then we're also watching, or at least I'm going to be watching Don't Breathe 2.
I have to make Jada rewatch Don't Breathe because she fell asleep when we watched it before we can see this movie.
Oh, okay.
Because
and then,
I like Don't Breathe, but she fell asleep. So
first, Don't Breathe, really awesome. Second one, I'm super excited for.
I don't know how to feel about it because it is confirmed to be a sequel. So like he's on the run hiding since the events of the first film.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Like I didn't look it up. I was like, I was looking it up or something, like just like talk about it, and I was like, huh. It says like the old man's on the run. He's like friends with this girl when she gets kidnapped.
That's funny.
So I was like, so it is after the events of Don't Breathe 1. It's not a prequel. I thought it was gonna be a prequel because like the events of Don't Breathe 1.
Exactly, but I guess not. That's pretty cool. And then new what's his bucket? Hugh Jackman's
Reminiscence.
film, Reminiscence.
I actually want to watch this one.
I'm not excited for this one at all.
That's okay.
But I'm still gonna go see it.
One.
Because it looks like a.
It looks like an Inception ripoff.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
And I'm excited for that because I like Inception.
I don't know, like
and it's Hugh Jackman. I mean, I just haven't seen him in a movie since like a long time, so I want to watch Hugh Jackman.
I haven't seen. I still need to see actually with Hugh Jackman is what's that film he did? The musical,
Greatest Showman.
For
some reason, that's the first one that came to my head when you were like, I still need to see that one film because I was like, I haven't seen it either. So
we should make an event out of that or see sometime like to watch.
My dad says it's really good.
I know. I heard it's so good, and I just haven't watched it yet.
It's one of those things where like I don't like musicals, but there's some musicals where I'm like, okay, that's.
Well, it's Hugh Jackman. He's like a good, well-rounded actor. So I feel like
he's a good singer too. It's
and Dansman.
He can do Wolverine and sing. Watch out, ladies.
Yeah, he originally came from the Broadway. That's where he came from first.
It's so whack.
And then the last one, I don't know if I'm entirely forward to this, but I know my other friend is Randy. He wants to watch this. So we're gonna go see it. It's called The Protege.
I have no fucking clue what that is.
This is the one. It's like an action film with Sam Jackson and some chick that I don't remember her name. Basically, she's a action hero, and he's like the original one, and she's like the protege. Like, it's not very plot heavy. Let's see. It had Maggie Q. Michael Keaton's also in it.
Yeah, they came out with a Jumanji fan film this year.
I don't know. That sounds weird and horrible.
It's 23 minutes long, and it's called Jumanji Level 1, and it's set in, like, 1869.
Wow.
I thought it was an actual film coming out this year, because I said 2021, so I was like, ooh, what the fuck? And then it was 23 minutes long in a fan film, and I was like, why the fuck is this on Letterboxd?
I think they're putting adult movies on Letterboxd now, too.
I don't think that's real.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I just saw
I don't
somebody
think
post
kids
that,
would. I don't think kids would want, like, you gotta understand. There's people on there that's like 17, 16 years old. Why would they put X-rated films on?
I don't know. I just saw some Facebook posts on Letterboxd.
I saw it too, and I don't think it's real.
And I was just like,
I looked up Letterboxd's news, and they haven't said shit.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't really look it up because I was like, that sounds dumb, and then I kept scrolling. That was my thought process, and I was like, adult films on Letterboxd, and it's coming soon. And I'm like, what? And I was like, that sounds dumb. And I kept scrolling.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really need to have other people's like recommendations for that.
I don't need your nudie bits.
That's not something I need. People, like, reviews will be like,
I was like, Crash should be barely on there. Salo should be barely on.
Hold up. The only thing that shows up. Okay, so I got 2015. It says new system for handling films marked as adult.
Interesting.
I don't know why Letterboxd.com actually has a thing that says X-rated, the greatest adult movies of all time.
So, is there anything else you want to mention or talk about before we sign off for the day? I think we covered all the films.
I watched Spring Breakers.
Oh yeah, it
was awful. James Franco gets a gun and blowjob.
That sounds horrible.
It's so bad. And he says spring break like 30 times in like 10 minutes. And then like legit one of the reviews says, if I hear James Franco say spring break one more time, I swear to fucking God. It's so bad. It's not good. Anyway, that's my big journey to A24. Their early movies suck.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what some more A24 films you watch next week. Or I guess not next week. We're doing it every other week now, so new episodes come out every other Tuesday. So
hold up. Before we leave,
what you got for me?
I hope this isn't real because only one site's replying on it, but it says Letterboxd said, "Hi all, we're doing some testing behind the scenes and adding a curated selection of adult films to the site soon. There will be a setting to opt in to see adult films without pixelated posters."
So I guess there might be adult films on Letterboxd soon. Who knows?
I don't need that. Who needs that? Do you care? Is that what you want in your movies?
Yes, totally. I want the new.
You want to watch the people you follow be like,
yes, watch this one. Sure, why not?
No,
so be sure.
No, it's not a no. Why not? It's a. I don't need that.
Bring on the filthy.
I gotta see if this is a real fucking thing. Twitter. Let's see.
Well, we will look it up, and we will get back to you next week on whether or not our Letterboxd.
Why is this real? Like, what the fuck?
As Bryce has a meltdown,
who the fuck
new
is
episodes
like,
come out every
this?
other Tuesday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications so you can get updates when we post. If you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast. And Bryce, where can people follow you in your enrapturing escalades?
You can find me on Instagram at Payne Loves Cinema. You can find me on Twitter at Sanguine Films.
And I guess on the adult
porn site, Letterboxd at Payne Reviews.
And Payne is spelled Payne.
Fucking dude, I'm going through the Twitter feed right now, and
if
like
you want,
they're legit. Like one person's like, the new adult feature on Letterboxd sucks. It's subjective, it's offensive, and it's censorship as they have pixelated hundreds, possibly thousands of movie posters to the point where you can't view them at all. It's trash, and it's vastly changed my opinion of the site. This dude's mad you can't see like adult films. Who the fuck cares?
And you can stay connected with me, Mytchel Chandler, by simply following me on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and on Letterboxd at Mytch Reviews. And remember, Mytch is spelled with a Y, so that's MYTCH.
I'm not.
Well,
are you gonna opt into the adult features?
We'll have to see.
That's all for this time. Fucking not.
Our fellow cinephiles, and until our next adventure, Excelsior!